make my favorite type of cookies, which is shortbread cookies. They are delicious, and the flavor of butter and the crispiness in your mouth when you eat it is amazing. They are made from 1 part of sugar, 2 parts of butter, and 3 parts of flour, so they are extremely easy to make. They are originated in Scotland, and the first printed recipe of that cookies is from 1736, and it's created by Mrs. McClintock. And let's start making them. So here is 225 grams of butter. It's like 1 cup of butter. It's in room temperature, so it's nice and soft. We need 110 grams of sugar, which is ½ cup of sugar. So let's try and measure ½ cup of sugar, 110 grams. For this recipe, we are using fine sugar. You want it to easy mix with butter. It's a little bit too much. Okay. 110 grams of sugar. It's like ½ cup of sugar. And now flour. So 3 parts of flour. So ½ cup of sugar, 3 parts of flour. So it will be 1½ cup of flour. In this recipe, I'm going to mix regular flour, plain flour, and corn flour. Corn flour doesn't have gluten. Gluten is the protein that makes the dough to rise, makes the dough sticky and elastic, and makes the dough chewy. So we want a little bit crispiness in our cookies. That's why we reduce the gluten in our recipe. And we replace some part of flour with the yellow cornmeal flour that doesn't have gluten. So that's why I'm using like a cup of plain flour. It's a little bit too much. Perfect. So it's 225 grams of plain flour, 1 cup of plain flour, and now 110 grams of corn flour, or ½ cup of corn flour. That gives us total 335 grams of flour, 1½ cup of flour. And we add also a pinch of salt. Just to balance the flavors, because we use unsalted butter. So right now we have to mix butter and sugar together. I'm going to use hand whisk, but you can as well do it with spoon. It just takes a little bit longer time. Whoops. That wasn't smart. That wasn't smart either. Our sugar is very fine, so it's like flying around. Okay. We have to mix everything to very creamy consistency because we have to fold in flour into our butter and sugar mixture. Okay, now I have to collect the butter from all over the countertop to do it. Of course, you can do everything in standing mixer and it will be much easier. I just decided to do it with hand whisk because the standing mixer is very loud. over the time everything gets easier because the butter is getting softer. Okay, let's slowly start adding flour. We don't want to have the big pieces, big crumbs of flour inside. So I'm going to sieve the flour. A little bit at a time and mix it with the butter and sugar. So slowly, a little by little, I add flour to our butter and sugar mixture. You don't want to start with right away because the flour will be all over the place. Even right now it still is.